the Eurit International School. This, of course, comes against the backdrop of the commencement of the 2026 academic calendar. We, of course, shed a spotlight on, of course, this academic institution to understand what is it that makes St. Eurit International School unique. What is it that makes them, of course, the center of conversation this very day? We'll have a conversation with some of the learners here and some of the academic stuff that are part and parcel of this very institution. Now I'm joined by Joanne Machkokurebwa, who is a stage 6 learner. Hello, Joanne. Now, thank you for speaking to us. Just to get the conversation started, tell us, what do you want to be when you grow up?
I'd like to become a pilot.
Fantastic. As well, can you speak to us about your academic experience here at St. Eurit?
It's been amazing so far. I love the teachers, how they're kind, my friends, they're generous, and the people here are just amazing.
Absolutely fascinating. Are you into sports as well?
Yes, I am.
Tell me about that.
I love playing hockey. Hockey is my passion. I love playing it with my friends, and technically, I'm very good at it.
No, thank you very much, Joanne. Now, we also have Charissa Chimbombe, who is a stage 6 learner. Here they don't call it grade 6, here they call it stage 6. Hello, Charissa. Tell us what you want to be when you grow up.
I would like to be a doctor.
Right. As well, may you speak to us about your learning experience here? You've been here for the past 5 years. How's that been?
It has been good, actually, here at St. Eurit. I love the experience. At first, I was nervous of getting to St. Eurit, but when I met my friends, they gave me comfort, and I felt safe at St. Eurit International School.
Right. We also have Talent Chirenda, who is a stage 5 learner. Hello, Talent. Tell us what you want to be when you grow up.
When I grow up, I want to be a psychologist.
Wow, that's beautiful. Why is that?
I want to be a psychologist because I have the opportunity to help those children who are into drugs, and I will give them a better future.
Quite bullish, I must say. You've been here for the past year. How's been your learning experience here at St. Eurit?
My learning experience here was really fun, exciting, but I was nervous at first because there were new people, teachers, and the place was new. But when I met some few classmates, I was comfortable, and I'm now happy here.
Thank you very much, Joanne Machkokurebwa and Charissa Chimbombe, as well as Talent Chirenda, learners here at St. Eurit, of course, International School. Nelson Mandela says that education is the most powerful tool by which one can transform an entire nation. And that, of course, stands true here, where the lives of learners are being emancipated and empowered to be ready to take on the challenges of modern day life, getting them, of course, indoctrinated in terms of how it is that they can be ready for life in the 21st century. Now, I'm joined on set by infant school teachers or facilitators right here. I do have Christina Fende, who is a nursery teacher. I'm also joined by Fadzi Rusere, an ECDA teacher and facilitator. Good morning, ladies, and thank you for speaking to Zim Papers Digital.
Good morning, sir.
Fantastic. Now, to get the ball rolling, may you speak to us about your teacher experience at this academic institution?
Okay, I have been here at St. Eurit for the past 5 years, and all I can say, it has been a roller coaster. Why? Because we have a very good relationship with our bosses, with our principal, even the teachers. St. Eurit is just a family. We interact very well. This place is like my second home. And the kids, oh, wow, I can spend the whole day telling you about the kids, because with my kids, we are friends. when they get at the door, they know we are getting in class with our friend Miss Fuzzy.
Right, sounds pretty mouth-watering, I must say, when you speak about education as well as the upkeep of children. There's much to glean out of that. I'll move on to you. May you again tell us about your teacher experience here and how the experience has been, as well as your interaction with the learners at this school.
My interaction with the learners, they always like to see me. When they see my face, they smile. That's the happy place that I get when I see their faces. And I can't wait to see them coming. And my experience with them is like I am a second mother to them.
Right.
When they see me, they see their mom. So they don't get out of place when they come here. So I'm waiting to be with them shortly.
Right. You also have a boarding facility here, much as you have the day aspect of the school. May you tell us about that?
Okay, we have introduced the boarding school here. Why? Because we have seen most of our kids, they enjoy being at school. Like previously, we were in Kariba, can you imagine? We went with the kids as young as 2 years old.
2 years?
Yes, in Kariba, we had 2 years old kids, and they really enjoyed. The parents were calling, how are our kids, how are they? But most of them, they wouldn't even want to speak to them because they were feeling it's their home. So we believe with this boarding facility, all our kids will be feeling at home. They wouldn't even want to go back there because St. Eurit, you can just see it for yourself.
Much to say, much, of course, to decipher. Let's talk about the student-teacher ratio here at St. Eurit. May you shed more light on that?
Our student ratio is 25. Each class has 25 students. And we don't pass in 25. Only 25, and the class is full. That's our student ratio.
Well, of course, this goes hand in hand with, of course, the very fundamentals of Education 5.0. Of course, these teachers from the Intl school speaking to us about the learning experience as well as the teacher experience, how it is that they engage with the learners at this academic institution. Of course, the conversation continues, but a big thank you to Miss Christina Pende, nursery teacher, as well as Miss Fadzilu Sere, ECDA teacher and facilitator. Thank you for speaking to Zim Papers Digital. Of course, the conversation continues right here at St. Eurit International School, which is an academic institution that is located in Belvedere in Zimbabwe's capital, Harare. Of course, enrollment is in progress. We'll be getting into the teensy-weенsies of what this means for you and how you can get to be a part of this burning and shining light. Now I speak to facilitators from the junior school. I've got Miss Jessica Muwirimi as well as Miss Zero Taziwa. Good morning and thank you for speaking to Zim Papers Digital.
Good morning, sir. Thank you.
Fantastic. Let's talk about the content of the academic institution itself, the syllabus. How is it structured at this particular school?
Okay, our school focuses on the Cambridge syllabus. Why? Because the Cambridge syllabus is recognized globally, and also it's an advantage to our kids. Why? It allows them to be critical thinkers. They also become problem solvers. And above all, the kids have the opportunity to travel abroad.
Right. Much, of course, to follow up on where that is concerned. It will be of interest to understand from your perspective. Earlier on, we're speaking to the infant teachers, as well as, of course, some of the junior school, of course, learners here. Can you speak about the transition from the infant school into the junior school?
Okay, thank you, sir. According to our curriculum, the infant ends on stage 2, and the transition to the checkpoint starts from stage 3 learners. And the stage 6 is our checkpoint where our learners sit for the final exam.
Right. Let's talk about your interaction with parents. Well, you've got quite a sound student-teacher ratio, 1:25, which is pretty commendable, I must say. Now, let's talk about the aspect of your interaction with the parents.
Okay, so we have good working relationships with our parents. At our school, we have an open door policy where parents are free to come and air out their views. We share whether it's a positive criticism or it's negative criticism. Because for us to have a whole child, it needs the involvement of the facilitator as well as the parent. So at our school, it's an open door policy. We don't shun the parents out. We work hand in glove for the development of the whole child.
Let's talk about the preparation for exams, because school is becoming more and more competitive. There's several aspects to look into. How do you ensure that your learners are very well prepared to take on their final examinations?
Okay, so allow me to hand it over to Ms. Sarah.
Okay, here we prepare our learners, especially the stage 6. We make use of the revision, intensive revision. We make sure they understand the concept. We don't make sure that they summarize, they memorize
cramming.
So yeah, they're cramming. We make sure they understand the concept. We make sure of the assessment tests. It could be either weekly or monthly, and then we report back to the parents through the reports.
Right.
In addition to that, sir, our school is a Christian environment. So as the facilitators, we believe in doing the very best of us and leave everything in God's hands. So we do our very best, and we trust in God to do the rest.
Absolutely profound, I must say. Just before I let you go, there is, of course, the sporting element. How do you ensure that there is participation from a sporting perspective here at St. Eurit?
We have different coaches. We have a well-trained personnel for every, for swimming, for ball games, for every sporting aspect. We have coaches who work with the children, and they have one-on-one sessions with them to make sure that we bring the best out of our learners.
Yeah. And also we make sure that the coaches recognize their or identify their talents so that they move forward.
So as to optimize on their strengths.
Yeah, yes,
and
yes.
of course, develop a well-rounded learner here. Thank you very much, Ms. Jessica Movidimi and Ms. Zero Taziwa, who are, of course, teachers or facilitators here at St. Eurit International School. There you have it, of course. We have gotten into the teensy-weенsies of how sport is important to this institution. We've also spoken about how it is that you've got several programs that are lined up at this very institution, and as well as also looking into conversations with the learners themselves, just to understand from their perspective what this school actually means for them. And now I get into conversation with the school head, Mr. Chuma. Mr. Chuma, thank you for speaking to Zim Papers Digital. Tell us about your, of course, ethos where the academic framing of the school is concerned from a Zimbabwean perspective.
From a Zimbabwean perspective, the ethos of education lies with the philosophy of Ubuntu, UNU. As a school which is grounded on Christian values,
Right.
we believe in training children to be responsible, to have dignity, to have integrity. In that way, in that fashion, we produce a citizen who is suitable and who can quite fit into the society that we have.
Right. let's talk about the digital aspect. The world is very much going on a digital tip. How do you incorporate and integrate that into the curriculum here?
The concept of the digitalization of the curriculum goes in the way that we have in our teaching, we use methods which center on research. So in that way, we have a state-of-the-art computer lab which is connected to the internet, which allows children to research, to collaborate with their friends as they learn. You're trying to look at a person who is self-driven to learning instead of those that get pushed to do every activity. And we're also saying the school is, if you find out as we go on a tour of the school, that we have the smart boards that are used in modern schools. We are no longer going the chalk and dust way, but the teacher will just go on the smart board with their finger and they do everything there. They can rub, they can do everything. They can also do a bit of research, showing diagrams to children, because the smart boards are also connected to the internet. So they can also, sometimes we want to show the concept of the heart system as it pumps. But if you explain to children, the learners, they may not even understand what you're saying. But because of the smart boards, I'm able to go on the smart board, look, search for a heart pumping, heart system, and show the children, explain from there, they will understand it better. So we have a system of practical and inclusive education, which is centered on the children. This is why I was talking about the computer lab and everything. We are trying to encourage research skills instead of just feeding them.
Right. School opens next week, and I understand enrollment is in progress. What can you tell us about that?
Yes, we are opening next week, and enrollment is in progress. As you can see, that the facility that we are using is much bigger than the facility that we're using. So we have got a few open spaces that people can, parents and stakeholders can come and take advantage of. They can search us digitally on our website and commence the enrollment process there. Then they can then get to the school later. But we have a website which allows them to see what we offer, and we have various methods of payment that are used, digital methods. Instead of just coming here, they can even do their processes digitally and make their payments digitally, then come to the school for the final processes.
Well, Mr. Chuma, thank you for speaking to Zim Papers Digital.
You are most welcome.
Fantastic. Of course, that was Mr. Chuma, the school head here at St. Eurit International School, where it is that we were looking into the aspects of the school. Initially, we had a conversation with the learners, we then had conversations with the teachers, and lastly, the principal here at St. Eurit International School. Enrollment is currently in progress. It might be in your interest to pay them a visit in Belvedere in Zimbabwe's capital, Harare. I know that preparation is currently underway for the commencement of the 2026 academic calendar. And as you do that, remember to visit St. Eurit International School. Now, I'm Ibn Mabunda, the money man. Let them do what they do. When we do what we do, women business. Thank you for watching and have a good day.